hello, how are you? This is Els coming from Miss Crafty Corner, and this is week 5, the last week of the Traveler's Notebook, and on this one I'm going to show you one other cover, and that is using a file folder to make your cover. So we're going to get right into supplies on this one. Paper trimmer, file folders. You only need one. I just have it 2 sizes so we can look at it. Eyelet setter, hole punch, all that good stuff. Scoring tools, scoreboard, adhesive, paper to decorate the piece with, and you know, that's kind of the gist. So let's talk about what we've done so far. Okay? All right. In week 1 of this class, we made 2 inserts. This one that has the double pocket, and this one which is a giant pocket, you know, like a big envelope pocket, and this is gusseted. And then in week 2, we made this, which is a notebook, you know, and we also made like a pad style. Let me see. I know I have it. Here it is. We did a pad style, you know, where the paper actually rips off and all that good hoo-ha-ha. We made a pad. Okay? And then in week 3, we did the fabric cover and the closure on that, which is an elastic ribbon. And that was, you know, the first one. That was week 3. In week 4, we did a cold laminate version. This is, you know, your what should be your notepad, and it's got a pocket out here, and then your big envelope, and then your double pocket, and closing it up. We put the closure on. Now we're going to do the same style as this, only we're going to be using a file folder today. And I'm going to end this class with 3 Traveler's Notebooks. All right, so let me clear some stuff out of the way, and I'll be back, and I'll give you some cut downs and all that stuff. I'll be right back. All right, file folder. We want this to be about 11.5 to 12 inches. A regular file folder is 11 5/8. 11 5/8, not 11.5. So remember that. There's going to be an extra 1/8 of an inch on it, okay? So we're going to cut this down. Because I don't have a small one right now. So I'm going to cut this down to 11 5/8. And then we want something that's going to be 8 1/4 inches tall. And we don't want this part where it has the expanders. We don't want that. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get enough out of it. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to cut the back piece off. Yeah. I'm going to use the back of the file folder. So I'm going to cut this down to 8 1/4. And that's going to take me through the reinforcement, but that's okay. I'll just pull it off. Or I can leave it on. It's up to me. It's up to you. For the most part, it tends to come right off. All right. So what I'm left with is a piece of my file folder that is 11 1/2 by 8 1/4. Okay? So we're going to get out our scoreboard. We're going to do some scoring. So we know that it's 4 1/4 inch wide. So we're going to put the first score at 4 1/4. Don't push. Just slide. And we need to give ourselves 1/4 inch for to put in our elastics. So we're going to go at 4 1/4, and then we're going to go at 4 1/2. All right, and then we're going to go over to 4 to 8, and we know that it has to be 8 and 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 from 4 1/2 is 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. It's 8 3/4. But here's the thing: you want to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. So we're going to go 1 tick over, which is actually 8 7/8. It's 1 tick before the 9. Okay. Again, we're going to come down a couple, 3, 4 passes. Don't rush this. Don't rip into the paper. Just do it easy. Okay. So again, at 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and 8 7/8, or 1 tick before the 9. Okay. That's it for this, as far as scores. Now, if you want to round corners, do that now. Now, I don't need to cover mine on the inside. I'm good with it. But I do need to cover it on the outside. So, we're going to take a couple of quick measurements. So 4 1/4. So if we want 1/8 of an inch around it, it's going to be 4 inches. Let me get rid of this because this is a mess. Let me bring this over where we can all see. So we're going to cut one piece at 4 by 8. And then we're going to go from the inside of this over, which takes us to 4 3/8, so 4 1/8. By 8. And then our flap is 2 3/4, so 2 1/2. Okay? So I'm going to go cut these, you go cut these, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have cut my paper. And I do want to round a couple of corners. I want to round this corner. And if your paper is thin, just use a piece of scrap, on there. And I'm going to round these 2 corners. Yep, that's going to be a pain in the butt. All right. It's okay. We shall just put a piece of paper under it. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to do some folding. Wherever there's a valley, we're going to turn it into a hill. Make sure that we line up our sides so that everything is nice and straight. And on these 2, if they're too close together and it's giving you a hard time, use your ruler. Okay? Put your ruler next to the score line. Press down and push up on your paper. And that will get your score line started. Okay? Now, next step is going to be to poke some holes. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to turn on my underlight here so that I can see. And I'm going in 1/2 inch on the top and the bottom. and I'm going between those two score lines. And then I'm going to go to 4 inches, just a little over 4 inches. For the center. Okay. 3 holes. I'm just learning how to play with this toy, I'm telling you. All right. Then I'm going to select some eyelets. I'm going to put the eyelets going from the outside in. This one I gotta do on the machine. I don't like it. Okay. All right, 3 eyelets. So now I am going to ink this and my paper, and then I'm going to glue it all down. So go ink this, go ink this. Okay, so you need to ink all the way around the edge. You need to ink the flap, both of these. You can ink the inside if you want to, but it's not necessary. And you're going to, you know, if you're going to do the inside, do the inside. If you're going to decorate on the inside, you might want to ink, you know, ink it. I'm not going to decorate on the inside of mine, okay? All right, that's it. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so once you have your paper on and everything's inked, your next step is going to be to put your cords on. And just as we did in the last one, you're going to take your elastic and you're going to measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And we're going to start with our first one about halfway. And then we're just going to feed this through. Ignoring the middle hole the whole time. We're just going to go around and around. Now, some people like to put 3 holes, you know, in here. And they're like, you got to space it out. And you can't have them cross. And okay, you know what? I get it. I do. I get it. I'm doing it wrong. But you know what? I have found that that's not necessary. As a matter of fact, it's not even really practical. All right? It just makes bulky, harder. All right, so we want to do this so we have 2 full loops. And your 2 ends come together. All right, so somewhere in the middle here, get your 2 pieces of elastic and tie a knot. All right, and then cut this off. Now we're going to use what's left of this to create our closure. So we're going to put one end through one hole on the button and one end through the other hole in a button. And you want to try and use, like, you know, a button that's not too terribly large. And you want your elastic to be, you know, a little bit snug, but not too snug. And so what I do is I put it on the outside. I tie my knot. Then I cut my tails. And then I take my loop and I thread it through that center hole. Okay. Now you will put your pieces in just like you normally would. Fold it over. Wrap your cord around it, and there you have it. Your Folio style traveler's notebook. All right, so that's it, guys. That's the end of this one. If you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the comment section below, or reach out to me through Facebook or email, however you want, and ask any questions that you may have. Let's see. So this one's been really fun, and like I said, we've made 3 different covers for our traveler's notebooks. We have done a cloth cover. We've done a laminated paper cover, and we've done a folio style cover, all 3. If you've missed any part of this series, I encourage you and invite you to go back and watch it again. Go ahead and bookmark it and come back and watch it whenever you want as a reference. But that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. I want to thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends. And then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I do go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And I post at least twice a week, usually Mondays and Wednesdays. But, you know, anytime I feel like it. And I have 2 things going on in 2022. One is these free classes. There's a whole series of them. So if you would like more information on these, the best way to get that is in the description box below. Make sure when you ring that bell, you select the all notifications, and then you'll find out as soon as these videos get loaded. And the second thing I got going on is my 12 of 22 journal challenge. You do not need to do all 12 journals, but if you would like more information on that, the best way to do it is to go to the description box below and click on the link. It's going to take you over there and give you all the information that you need. Now, that being said, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.